Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Prophet Isa said to Ruqayya in a dream that Allah showed it to her, fulfill the promise of Allah. I will come because of the promise of Allah as well. When that time arrives, I warn for you in the world, the door of Allah's forgiveness has been closed. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I was walking in my house beside Isa ibn Maryam in my dream. Prophet Isa was sitting in front of the door of his Jannah. He stood up when I came and said, "O Ruqayya, come upon my call. I will show you something." And I nodded and we went. He brought me to a beautiful place and I did not know where it was. Suddenly, I saw myself and Isa ibn Maryam walking among green trees. I had seen this place before. I felt like I knew this place. And we headed to one place. There were tall and big green trees and a beautiful pool. We walked on the path like a beautiful forest garden, and I saw my father sitting beside that pool. My father looked young and wore white clothes like the ones I had seen before. We hugged him. Isa gently embraced him, and I hugged my father with my longing. I cried seeing him. He smiled at me. Isa said, "Here is the place of your verse. Allah has honored him because he always reminded you about Ahmed, and you are the light of Ahmed." And I saw my father smile and stretch out his hands again. And my father only smiled, did not speak. Isa said, "Your father had reminded you with Ahmed. All of his words were Ahmed to you. Allah placed him in this Jannah, Jannah Aden. Truly, here is the place of your father." And my father smiled at me, and we walked, the three of us, beside rivers with white water, and layered streams were visible. I felt I remembered this place. Isa said, "Your father spoke about Muhammad at all times, and he explained with the movement of his hands. Your father reminded you about Ahmed to you until you said, 'Why always Prophet Muhammad?' Truly, your father always reminded that." And I nodded, and I looked at my father with his smile, and we bade farewell, and my father waved his hand to me with his smile. By Allah, I saw this as in my dream. We left, and Prophet Isa smiled and waved his hand. Suddenly, we arrived at my house, and Isa said, "Later, I will tell you your place in the Jannah of Allah. Truly, you are among the witnesses of Allah. We will be gathered by Allah as per the promise of Allah, and I am in front of you as I am also a witness of Allah." And I said, "All praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds, who has given us the straight path, and in goodness may we be in the goodness of Allah until our death, and we obtain goodness at the time of resurrection." And Prophet Isa smiled, looking at me. I said, "I will return to my house." And Isa said, "Yes, fulfill the promise of Allah. I will come because of the promise of Allah as well. When that time arrives, I warn for you in the world, the door of Allah's forgiveness has been closed." And I nodded and ran to the back, and I seemed to hurl myself to return home. I woke up and I remembered every part that Prophet Isa said was true, and the part where Prophet Isa brought me to my father was in my past dream. After 2 years, my father passed away. And in that dream, I was about to give birth in the year of 2008. But before that, I dreamt that I was going to one place on my motorcycle. I entered a green forest. The trees were very tall, and the trunks were very big and tall, and the color was very green, a dark, deep green, and I saw my father sitting as if waiting for me. Beside him was a pool and a path into the green forest. I saw my father waiting with very deep longing. I was happy to meet my father. In that dream, I directed my motorcycle towards him, but suddenly my father stood with a smile, and he waved his hand, and he entered into the green forest, and I did not follow him, but went straight ahead on the road before me, and satisfied, having met my father and seen him. And truly, by Allah, in whose hand is my soul, every word of his was about Prophet Muhammad, always giving the example of Prophet Muhammad. At first, I did not understand and just listened. Sometimes, forgive me, I got bored listening to it, because I was still little and did not know anything. even until his death. In his speech, there was always Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon my father. And when he passed away, Prophet Muhammad came into my second dream, the first time back then before my father passed away. Prophet Muhammad often came to me, only I did not understand until the moment that made me understand. Prophet Muhammad in my dream kissed my hand, and I missed him afterwards. And I kept that part of the dream hidden, while Prophet Muhammad kissed my hand. And in another event that Allah showed me, I did not want to be called the child of Prophet Muhammad, and he cried until I said, I am your ummah. Prophet Muhammad wept and cried. I said, I am your grandchild, so that Prophet Muhammad would not cry again, and he smiled, and Prophet Muhammad said, my child, and I said, I am your grandchild, because it is impossible for me to be his child. But I said his grandchild, so that Prophet Muhammad would not cry. And I embraced him and said, smile, because I cried seeing him cry. And at night, Allah showed me a dream of Prophet Muhammad coming to my house with my father, and my father smiled looking at me. Truly, I thought I was going to die. My father and Prophet Muhammad came, and I felt my father was going to fetch me, and that was before Allah made me his witness. After Allah said, you are Ruqayya bint Muhammad, Allah made me his witness, and I refused to be called Ruqayya because I was afraid. I just accepted it. One day Allah was angry because I said I am not Ruqayya, and Allah said all of his greatness, and the veins of my neck stiffened and locked. I was afraid of a stroke in my mind because I did not know anything. Only Allah knows. I sought forgiveness and everything was fine. And I was afraid after that. Prophet Muhammad often in my dream and said, follow the command of Allah, my child. Truly, I know nothing except to obey him and to deliver, because Allah spoke in the inspiration of my heart since my childhood. And the lights came upon me, covering me in my dream, even in reality, before me in my waking eyes. Truly, only Allah knows. I do not know anything except telling the story to my friend Nida, until Allah made me his witness, and Allah opened the dreams, and everything has been known to Nida, whom Allah said, my witness. Allah gave her the name Khadija. Allah said, she is like Khadija to me. أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. آمين يا الله يا رب يا سميع يا بصير. الحمد لله.